All right, let's talk about travel. You book a flight, you land, you grab an Uber. Simple, right? That's what I thought. Then I heard about a place called Iquitos, Peru. My first mistake was looking it up on a map. I saw it there. A dot in the middle of a vast green ocean of trees. Okay, cool. I'll just rent a car. Ah, the sweet, beautiful innocence of a man who has never tried to navigate the Amazon with Google Maps. Iquitos has a delightful little quirk. It's the largest city in the world that you cannot reach by road. Let that sink in. Nearly 500,000 people. No roads leading to it. It's like the world's most elaborate game of hide and seek. Iquitos is winning. So, how do you get there? You can't just hail a cab and say, "To the jungle, please." Your options are basically two. A very, very long boat ride, a plane. Flying in is an experience. You spend hours looking at nothing but an endless, dense canopy of green. It's a carpet of broccoli as far as the eye can see. And then, a city just appears. It's like someone dropped a metropolitan area into the middle of nowhere as a prank. You land, and the humidity hits you like a wet towel thrown with surprising force. Forget your carefully planned airport outfit. You now look like you've just run a marathon in a sauna. Once you've successfully crash-landed or floated into Iquitos, you find yourself in a city that feels like a beautiful, chaotic fever dream. The first thing you'll notice is the sound. It's a constant, buzzing symphony of motorcars. These are three-wheeled motorcycle taxis that swarm the streets like angry metallic hornets. There are thousands of them, each one seemingly customized by a teenager with a love for neon lights and a complete disregard for noise regulations. Forget the serene jungle sounds you imagined. The soundtrack of Iquitos is the relentless brap of two-stroke engines. It's the official city bird, and its mating call is a sputtering backfire. You'll see grand, decaying mansions from the rubber boom era, their elegant European architecture now sweating and peeling in the tropical heat. These buildings, with their ornate ironwork and faded glamour, stand next to simple wooden houses on stilts. It's like Paris, and a fishing village had a baby, and that baby decided to live in the world's most aggressive greenhouse. The whole place feels wonderfully, beautifully stuck in time. It's a port city with no ocean, an urban jungle within the actual jungle. Nothing quite makes sense, and that's precisely its charm. Iquitos doesn't feel like it's part of the rest of the world. It feels like its own strange, vibrant, and incredibly loud planet. Now, if you want to understand the soul of Iquitos, you must visit the Basin market. But be warned, this is not your local farmer's market. Organic kale and artisanal cheese. Oh no, the Basin market is sprawling, chaotic, and wonderfully overwhelming. An assault on all five of your senses. It's part flea market, part butcher shop, part pharmacy, and part surrealist art installation. You can buy anything here, from fresh fruit to a mysterious bottle of jungle potion. The market is divided into sections. There's the normal part, mountains of exotic fruits you've never seen before. Then you wander a little further, and things get interesting. You'll see entire aisles dedicated to fish, some of which are the size of a grown man. There are piranhas, teeth on full display. You'll see turtles, you'll see caimans, and other creatures you'd normally only see behind glass at a zoo. Here they're just lunch. This is where American travelers might need a moment. The meat section is not for the faint of heart. You won't find neatly packaged chicken breasts here. Instead, you'll see parts. All of the parts. You'll also find suri, giant, juicy grubs. They sell them live, wiggling on skewers, or grilled to a crisp. Watching a sweet old lady happily munching on a giant worm is a cultural experience. And then there's the Pasaje Paquito, the market's famous natural medicine alley. Here, shamans and healers sell remedies for every ailment imaginable. You'll find bottles of ayahuasca vine, dried snake skins, pink dolphin amulets, and countless other mysterious concoctions. The air is thick with the smell of herbs, tobacco, and something else you can't quite identify but are pretty sure is magic. It's a place where ancient traditions are alive and well, operating just a few feet away from a stall selling bootleg DVDs. The Basin market is Iquitos in a nutshell. Raw, unfiltered, and utterly unforgettable. Let's talk about the food in Iquitos, because every meal feels less like dinner and more like a challenge on a reality TV show. The local cuisine is what you'd call hyper-local. They eat whatever they can catch nearby. This includes things that might make you pause. I'm sorry, did you say piranha? Yes, they did. And it's delicious, apparently. You just have to get over the fact that you're eating something that, given the chance, would have happily eaten you first. No trip to Iquitos is complete without a jungle tour. This is really the main event. The reason you endured the flight and the motorcars, right? The brochures promise an epic adventure. Waking up to the sounds of howler monkeys, spotting pink river dolphins, connecting with nature. And, yeah, you will do all of those things. But the brochures conveniently leave out a few key details. For instance, they don't mention that connecting with nature also means nature connecting with you, specifically in the form of every insect in the known universe trying to get a piece of you. So, your journey begins on a riverboat, which can range from rustic to, is this boat even seaworthy? These boats chug along the brown, swirling waters of the Amazon at a pace that makes a snail look like a Formula One driver. You'll sit for hours, watching the endless green walls of the jungle slide by, and honestly, it's a hypnotizing and strangely meditative experience. This is when you'll hopefully spot the famous pink river dolphins. They're real, they're pink, and they're absolutely magnificent. Seeing them gracefully surface in the murky water feels truly magical. A moment of pure wonder that almost makes you forget about the sweat dripping down your back. Then you arrive at your jungle lodge. The Amazon rainforest is one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. This is a beautiful fact when you're watching a documentary from the comfort of your couch. But, honestly, it's a slightly more intimidating fact when you're actually there, and you realize that biodiversity means there are a lot of things that can crawl, fly, slither into your personal space. The wildlife in the Amazon doesn't really respect boundaries. It's not like a zoo where the animals are politely contained. Here, you're in their home, and they are not shy about making their presence known. First, let's talk about the insects. They are a constant, unavoidable part of the experience. Mosquitoes, of course, are the headliners. They're persistent, audacious, and seem to view insect repellent as a light seasoning. But honestly, they are just the opening act. You'll encounter ants the size of your thumbnail, spiders that could star in their own horror movie, moths so large you might mistake them for bats. You'll find beetles with iridescent shells that look like living jewels. It's a bug lover's paradise. For everyone else, it's a lesson in deep breathing and frequent high-pitched shrieking. Then there are the bigger animals. All right, so you've made it to Iquitos. You're feeling adventurous. Now, how can you use that adventurous spirit to become the most obnoxious tourist possible? It's easier than you think. I've compiled a helpful guide. Step 1. Complain about the heat. Loudly and often. As you step off the plane into the wall of humidity, make sure to exclaim, "Wow, it's really hot here," to no one in particular. This informs the locals, who have lived here their whole lives, of a shocking new fact. Step 2. Show off your brand new top-of-the-line jungle gear. Nothing says I have no idea what I'm doing, like walking through the city center in full safari attire, zip-off pants, multi-pocketed vest, wide-brimmed hat. Bonus points if everything is a pristine shade of khaki. While the locals are walking around in shorts, t-shirts, and sandals, you will look like you're about to wrestle a crocodile on your way to buy a bottle of water. Only drink bottled water. The tap water in Iquitos is more of a scientific experiment than a beverage. Unless you want your stomach to stage a violent protest, stick to the bottle. Probably not. But also, yes. So, we've been on this journey. We've talked about the roadless city, the noisy motorcars, the food that might be a dare, and the insects that want to be your best friend. We've covered the luxury lodges that redefine the word luxury, and the wildlife that is a little too close for comfort. My job, I suppose, is to tell you whether you should go to Iquitos. And the logical, sensible answer is probably not. If you enjoy air conditioning, reliable Wi-Fi, and a general lack of things that can poison you, then maybe a nice trip to Florida is more your speed. There's no shame in that. Why would anyone willingly subject themselves to this level of chaos? Why would you fly to the middle of nowhere to sweat, get bitten by bugs, and eat things that wiggle? It's uncomfortable. It's inconvenient. It challenges every modern comfort you've ever taken for granted. By all rational measures, it's a terrible vacation plan. And that's exactly the point. Sometimes it's about being brave. It's about collecting stories, not just souvenirs. And trust me, after a trip to Iquitos, you will have stories to tell for the rest of your life.